Good day, everyone. My name is Angelo Velez, and join me as we're about to explore into a fascinating and mesmerizing regions in Oceania, which are Polynesia, Melanesia, and Micronesia.
Countries and capitals of Polynesia and Melanesia and Micronesia.
Solomon Islands, Honiara, Vanuatu, Port Vila, Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby, Fiji, Suva, New Caledonia, Noumea, Palau, Nagurumut, Federated States of Micronesia, Palakir, Nauru, Marshall Islands, Majuro, Wamhagatnya, Northern Mariana Islands, Saipan, Kiribati, Tarawa.
Countries and capitals of Polynesia and Melanesia and Micronesia. Pacific Islanders, we are Polynesia and Melanesia and Micronesia.
Tuvalu, Fuji, Samoa, Apia, American Samoa, Pango Pango, Tonga, Nuku, Alofa, New Alofi, Cook Islands, Avarua, Norfolk Island, Kingston, Tahiti, French Polynesia, Wallis, Futuna, Mata Utu, Pitcairn Islands, Adamstown, Hawaii, Honolulu, New Zealand, Wellington, and Tokelau.
These are capitals of Polynesia and Melanesia and Micronesia.
Oceania comprises three different regions. First is Melanesia. It is called as Melanesia due to its dark complexion of skin. And some of the countries under Melanesia is the Fiji, capital city is Suva, New Caledonia, capital city is Noumea, Papua New Guinea, capital city is Port Moresby, Solomon Islands, the capital city is Honiara, and Vanuatu, the capital city of Port Vila. In Micronesia, it is called as the Tiny Islands. So Palau, capital city is Ngurlumod, Nauru, the capital city is Yaren, Kiribati, the capital city is Tarawa, Marshall Islands, the capital city is Majuro, Pohnpei, the capital city is Palikir, and Tarawa, the capital city is Republic of Kiribati. In Polynesia, it is called as the Many Islands. So the other main island group located within the Polynesia Triangle are Samoa, the capital city is Apia, Tonga, the capital city is Nuku'alofa, the Cook Island, the capital city is Avarua, Tuvalu, the capital city is Funfuti, Tokelau, the capital city is Nukununu, Niue, the capital city is Alofi, Wallis, the capital city of Matautu, and Futuna, and French Polynesia, the capital city of Papeete. So let's begin in Melanesia. People in Melanesia called as the Black Islands due to its dark complexion. The archipelago has a population of 600 and capital and the largest city is Honiara on the Guadalcanal Island. Melanesia are the predominant and indigenous inhabitants of Melanesia in a wide area from New Guinea to the Fiji Island. The native Fijians, known simply as Fijians, are the majority of people and their origins on the land are deeply respected. Fijians are often understanding, proud of their identity and the status holds in society. They tend to have a very secure sense of belonging in their community and culture. New Caledonia. Christians make up 85.2% of the population, 10.4% have no religion, 2.3% are Muslim, 0.6% are Buddhist, 0.2% practice folk religion, 0.8% practice other religion. Next, the Papua New Guinea. There are many different and exotic cultures within Papua New Guinea, and it is land is traditional people living in a subsistence lifestyle. The Solomon Islands. Traditional culture is still prevalent throughout the country, but traditional lifestyle exists side by side with tribal customs are most important social norms. Traditional bartering systems are still used between many villages areas. Vanuatu. The main religion of New Vanuatu is Christianity. However, many New Vanuatu still practice traditional native religions. These include cargo cults, which believe that wealth can be obtained through religious ceremonies. Best known among these is Joseph John Frum movement. Trivia in Solomon Islands. If you go 2,000 kilometers north of Brisbane and 1,500 kilometers east of Papua New Guinea, you come across a beautiful chain of 1,000 islands called For about 5 to 10% of the people in Melanesia have naturally blonde hair. The study shows that blonde hair of some Solomon Islanders result from unique gene mutation and not shared by blonde Europeans. Some of the locals have this amazing blonde hair. You might think it is fake or dyed, but it is 100% natural. Industry in Melanesia. Melanesia consists primarily of subsistence agriculture and fishing, but the mining industry is no central part of the economy, environment, and societies of countries of the region. Fijian industry. Sugar exports and tourism industry are the main source of foreign exchange. There are also light manufacturing and the mining sectors in Fijian. Papua New Guinea. Agriculture, timber, and fishing. The agricultural, forestry, and fishing sector accounts for most of the labor force of PNG. The formal economy of Papua New Guinea, for example, is dominated by mining oil sector, which is made up approximately 70% of export. New Caledonia. The economy is driven by a strong mining sector with the island home to around 10% of the Earth's nickel resources. Today, New Caledonia economy is driven by three key sectors: the mining industry, nickel, magnesium, iron, and cobalt. Solomon Islands. The main industries in Solomon Islands include fisheries, forestry, and mining, with the most manufactured produced being food, beverage, tobacco, and wood products. The production of the tuna and timber are the particular plays a vital role in the country's economy. Vanuatu. Exports include copra, kava, beef, cocoa, and timber, and imports include machinery and equipment, foodstuff, and fuel. Copra and cocoa account for more than 60% of Vanuatu's total export by value, and agriculture account of 20% of GDP. Plant life. There are estimated 8,000 species of vascular plants in the East Melanesia. Fiji has 6 other unique endemic plants genera. 4 of these are Gillespie, Hedstroemia, Rhodea, and Squaminaria are in the rose family of Rubicea, while Amuraria is in the Quassia family, Cimorabosea, and Nuevachia is in the palm family of Ricicea. New Caledonia. It has an extraordinary 5 endemic plant families such as Amaryllisea, Ontosicea, Parapacicea, Phalaenopsicea, and Strabogicicea out of a total of 196 families. Almost 14% of the plant genera and 80% of species are endemic. Papua New Guinea. In Papua New Guinea, national capital of Port Moresby, you can find false Christmas cactus, Mexican fire plant, guava, garden croton, giant taro, and many more. There are 20 types of plants in total. Be sure to look out for these common plants when you're walking on the streets in parks or public gardens. Solomon Islands. Among those plants found solely in the Solomons are several species of palms, orchids, begonia, and ginger plants. More than 230 varieties of flowering plants brighten the forest environment. The inland forests are divided into lowland, foothill, and mountain forests, as well as freshwater swamps. Vanuatu. Notable plants found in Vanuatu include the Polynesian chestnut tree, the marabou tree, which grows profusely in mangroves, the Fabaceae, a flowering tree in the pea family, and the Wonga Wonga vine, a beautiful flowering creeper. Animal life. These are the animals that are endemic only in Melanesia. Fiji. Fiji banded iguana, Fiji crested iguana, Fiji parrotfinch crimson, shining parrot red-throated loricat, mask shining parrot, and whistling fruit parrot. New Caledonia. Only mammals include several endemic bat and flying fox species. You can see New Caledonian blossom bat, Nototerpresis, the Loyalty Island long-finger bat. Papua New Guinea, the emperor bird of paradise, or Paradisea guillemets, also known as emperor of Germany's bird of paradise, is a species of birds of paradise. The emperor bird of paradise is endemic to Papua New Guinea. Solomon Islands. The central province area of Solomon is where you might find the ultramarine kingfisher, Solomon's cockatoo, and the midget flowerpecker. Further south on the island of Reno, you might see the Reno fantail, the beautiful Reno shrikebill, and many other birds that can only be found on this island. Vanuatu. Sirenia is an order of fully aquatic herbivorous mammals that inhabit in rivers, estuaries, coastal marine waters, swamps, and marine wetlands. Did you know that Moana is inspired from Pacific Islanders? Although Moana is from a fictional island Motunoi some 3,000 years ago, the story and culture of Moana is based on a very real heritage and history of Polynesian island.
We set a course to find a brand new island everywhere we roam. Away, away, we keep our island in our mind.
The natural resources in Melanesia. The main natural resources they have are the gold and copper production. Nickel, zinc, cobalt, and chromite have also been discovered with a huge deposit of underdeveloped mineral resources. Deposits found here such as in Vanuatu, New Caledonia, Papua New Guinea, and Fiji. On the other hand, Solomon Islands economies rely heavily on natural resources exports such as timber, fish, copra, palm oil, cocoa, and other agricultural products, and gold. Landforms and waterforms. Mount Balby is a Holocene stratovolcano located in the northern portion of the island of Bougainville in Papua New Guinea. Balby marks as the highest point in the Bougainville Island, forming a summit composed of colosites, cones, and lava domes. The Lunga River. It is a river on the northern coast of Guadalcanal, Solomon Islands. It empties into Iron Bottom Sound at Lunga Point. The Lunga River is the name of two rivers in Zambia. One is a tributary of the Kafue River and the other a tributary of the Kobompo River, both of which are tributaries of the Zambezi. Next to our list, the Mont Panay is a mountain on the island of Grande Terre in New Caledonia, a special collectivity of friends located in the southwest Pacific Ocean. At 1,628 meters for about 5,341 feet, it is the island's highest point. Mount Panay is situated in the chain centrale of the mountain range. Fiji. Fiji's infrastructure such as roads and bridges also lack in maintenance, and the cost of utilities is relatively high, especially power and communications. Fiji's geographic location and time differences is also a challenge for business in United States. New Caledonia. Currently, two major mine projects underway on Grande Terre are sure to have profound effects on the environment and the people of New Caledonia. The world's largest nickel mining company, the Toronto-based International Nickel Company or the INCO, is moving ahead with plans to develop an open-pit mine. Solomon Islands. Land degradation and deforestation are serious concerns in the Solomon Islands, as logging is a key source of revenue for the country but also a significant driver of biodiversity loss. Vanuatu. poverty in Vanuatu, and the increasing number of out-of-school youth unemployment, and lack of access to training and job opportunities, especially in the remote islands. Papua New Guinea is currently highly ranked in the world in terms of gold and copper production. Poor environmental practices in Papua New Guinea mining industry have resulted in a number of environmental problems, including the discharge of heavy metals, cyanide, and acids into rivers, streams, and coastal waters. Also results into invasive species. We've done to Melanesia, now let's go to Micronesia. Micronesian is very diverse culturally and linguistically. Palau. The population is approximately 19,000, of whom 70% are native Palauans who are mixed Melanesian, Micronesian, and Polynesian descent. Christianity is the dominant religion in Palau. Freedom of religion is enshrined in Palau's constitution. Nauru. Most of the island's residents are indigenous Nauruans. There are small numbers of Kirabatis. The Nauruan people are mainly mix of Polynesian, Micronesian, and Melanesian origin, but are mostly closely related to Polynesians. Kiribati. The original inhabitants of Kiribati are Gilbertese, a Micronesian people. The Kiribati people settled what would become known as a Gilbert Island between 1000 and 1300 AD. Marshall Islands. The native people of the Marshalls are the Marshallese or Micronesians. The Marshallese are a Micronesian origin which is traced to a combination of people who emigrated from Southeast Asia in the remote past. Pohnpei. The Pohnpeians or the Pohnpeians are the indigenous people of Pohnpei. Pohnpeian culture is a clan of society deeply rooted in Asian traditional practices called tiak and strongly infused with modern way of life, simultaneously inhabiting the two different timeliness in harmony. Palau. Tourism is Palau's main industry. Activity focuses on scuba diving and snorkeling among the island's rich marine environment, including the floating garden islands to the west of Koror. Nauru. Phosphate mining is Nauru's main source of economic revenue. In 1900s, rich deposits of phosphate were discovered on the island, and in 1907, the Pacific Phosphate Company shipped the first shipment of phosphate to Australia. Kiribati. Some of the main crops grown on the islands are copra, breadfruit, and sweet potato. Fishing is also one of the important jobs in the country. Marshall Islands. The largest industry in the Marshall Islands is agriculture. In agricultural production, primarily subsistence is concentrated on small farms. Pohnpei. Processing specialized aquaculture, craft items from shell, wood, and pearls are the main industry of Pohnpei. Palau. Palau is blessed with a wealth of natural resources such as island minerals, aggregate bauxite, gold, insular phosphate, lignite, and kaolinite. Kiribati. Most of the important natural resources in Kiribati are coconuts and fishing. Marshall Islands, as one of only 4 coral atoll nations in the world, as well as one of the world premier fishing and diving locations. Pohnpei. The Pohnpei lavas are enriched in alkali elements and are classified as basalt, taprite, and basanites. Micronesia has a very rich marine fauna including a wide variety of hard and soft corals, anemones, sponges, and many species of crustaceans. Kepirohi Waterfall. This is the most popular waterfall in Pohnpei. The large open lake at the base is perfect for swimming and is popular for both visitors and local alike. Ant Atoll is a small atoll lying off the west coast of Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. Along with the nearby Pakin Atoll, these islands constitute the Senyavan group of islands. Sockes Rock. Almost the first thing we see on Pohnpei Island is Sockes Rock, a remarkable rock standing independently across the bay from Colonia. Palau. Common species include Intria biuga, Psychotria, Sclerendrium inermi, and Acacia. Nauru. The coast is dotted with mostly coconut palms and pandanus. Kiribati. Cocos nocifera or coconut palms is the most important tree to the people of Kiribati. Marshall Islands. Plant life that is important in Marshall Islands such as bananas and breadfruit. Pohnpei, we have mountain palm and the tree fern. Palau. In Palau we have the flying fox, the endemic amphibian in Palau frog, and the Palau dog-faced mud snake. Nauru. In Nauru we have land crabs and birds including the endemic Nauru reed warbler. Kiribati. Kiribati has few land mammals and none being indigenous or endemic. These include the Polynesian rat, dogs, cats, and pigs. Marshall Islands. The rock dove or the Columba livia is a member of the bird's families Columbidae, or simply referred to as apigians. Pohnpei. In Pohnpei we have green barrel sea squirt, Didymnum mole, and cane toad. Nauru. Indicators in the region and the highest incidence of food poverty, with 1 in 4 people living below the basic needs poverty line. Infant, child, and adult mortality rates remains high in Nauru. Pohnpei. Rapid population growth, overharvesting, habitat destruction, invasive species, and climate change are some problems that the island of Pohnpei face. Palau, Kiribati, and Marshall Islands involve marine and coastal problems such as extreme high tide, typhoon, rising of sea levels, in which these islands have increasingly vulnerable of this phenomenon.